Alright, so I'm in the middle of making a book stand. I have a 4x4, which is 6 foot tall, and I'm going to cut that to maybe, I don't know, 4.5 feet, depending on. Anyway, I have a round base and a round top, and I just got done designing the bottom, the base, that I am going to attach the 4x4 to create the stand part of it. So let me show you that real quick. Alright, so here is the round piece that I'm making the base on. These right here are eventually going to get screwed into the base, and then the 4x4 is going to set down in here and they'll get screwed into that. But I just got done tracing what I want onto here, and I can't really tell. I don't know if you can tell, if you can see that. It's not, maybe it's not really. Well, let me show you. So what I did was I used this projector, and I projected the picture that I drew onto this wood onto the wall, and then I set this up and I traced that. And I can show you the picture. And there it is. This is what's on there. It is on this piece of wood. I can't tell by the viewfinder whether or not you can actually see that picture, but it is on here. And I am going to wood burn that onto this wood, and then I'm going to decorate the top and the post part with other decorations, and get those wood burned into the wood. And once I do that, I am going to seal the whole thing, and then I will put it together. This is not a project that's going to be done anytime quickly. It could take weeks, months to do. I have to decide what I want as a design, and that could take weeks to decide myself. Get it onto the wood, and then wood burn it, and again that could take weeks, months to do. And once I get all of that done, I will eventually put it together, and then we'll have a book stand. Alright, so I got the base of it here. Eventually I'm going to get that wood burned. I have the top right here, and I just measured out the angle and the height that I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that and get that ready. So I threw some bird seed over here, and it grew into some sunflowers. So that's pretty cool. And I went ahead and got a couple pieces there, and built a little frame for it so that hopefully the lawn mowing people don't screw around with it. But just from throwing some bird seed in that little dirt spot, and now I've got 4 beautiful sunflowers growing. Alright, so my saw does have, well, originally had the ability to create angles, but it's rusted up, so it's not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is do my best to cut this evenly. That's not horrible. Let's see what we got. Alright. Now let's try to cut it at the angle I want. That's not horrible. I'll sand that down. That ain't gonna be too bad at all. Alright, so I got that done. Alright, so there's the stand so far. And then the top part will sit right here. About just like that. That's pretty decent. What do you think? Think the angle's a little abrupt? No, good, because I like it. That's not going to be horrible. Once I sand it up and actually put my stuff on it that I want to and wood burn it. Alright, so now if that wasp will leave me alone, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to sand this and get this angle decent. Alrighty, so I have the large bottom with the symbol on it that I'm going to use, and now the top that's going to hold the book has the Egyptian symbol for Heka, which is magic, on there, and we are going to just wood burn that stuff into the wood, and I'm not sure whether this is hot enough yet, so we will have to see. Nope, it's getting hot though. Not hot. It smells like it's hot. It's getting there. Alright, so I think we're ready to go. Yes. Here's the original that I used. Just set it down there. And I used this carbon paper. So you just set the carbon paper down, put the print on top, and you just trace. And then it leaves the imprint of what you want. And then from there, I am wood burning it into the wood. Now once I get that done, I have the monumental task of doing the base, and than the actual stand part. The stand part, I think, right now, of course it's got 4 sides to it. I think one side is going to have thoth on it. I think one side is going to have mott. And I think one side is going to have Sobek, 3 of the Egyptian. And then the 4th side, I think, will probably have Hecate on it. And each side, I think, will have one of the triangle symbols for each of the 4 elements. So we'll have a lot to do. And I do want to wood burn those in as well, which is kind of a monumental task. And once I get the whole thing wood burnt, I am then going to put some stain protection on it, so that the wood will be protected. And then I'll put it all together, and then we'll have a book stand. So that's going to be weeks and weeks down the road. So let's just continue with this, and let's get the wood burning started at least. Alright, so I just have a couple more spots to go. There we go, and one more. Bingo. There we go. I don't know how long that took. Alright, well, I am not skilled in wood burning, and this is really the first decent sized item I've ever done. This took me about 45 to 50 minutes to do, and I'm going to try to erase the carbon that I got in here when I was tracing it. Not completely, but not too bad at all. I think that's pretty decent for about an hour's worth of work. That's not actually too bad at all. So what I'm going to do, and I'll use this pencil as an example. It's not quite long enough, but I'm going to glue a piece probably about where the hand, the arm or whatever, this bottom line, across all the way over here. Let me get something bigger so I can kind of demonstrate it better. Alright, so I got this stick here, and I think this might actually be what I'll use, but it'll go from end to end here, and probably just go just under where that arm is at. But this is going to set at an angle like so. Let me adjust here. Boom. So this is going to set at an angle like this. So when I'm standing up, my podium will have the book laying here, and then I'll be able to set it on here. Now, this has been wood burned now, so now it needs to be covered in a finishing sealant so that it'll be sealed. And I think I'm gonna make sure, I'll check with Michelle to make sure this is exactly what I'm gonna get. It's gonna sit here like this. Maybe I'll even angle this edge here. I'll go a little bit over, and then I'll just grind this edge to make it rounded with it. And this is where the book is gonna sit. So I'll probably go down just like that or so. And of course it will be up at an angle, maybe about like that, when it gets all complete. So I'm pretty excited. This little project here, like I said, took me about an hour. This will take me at least twice, if not 3 times that. It's a little harder to see. This is penciled, and I don't have the actual design handy, but I have showed you the design that's on here. But when I get this wood burned, this small circle here, maybe even this outside circle here, and this little star that's right here is going to be where the post of the podium will be sitting. I am going to wood burn this, but this is probably going to be covered up, and then you'll have your outside circle with the maze, the Hecate maze will go there. So this is a project that's going to be done in the next, hopefully, few days, but I'm not going to film it. It's simply just put on there and wood burned. Now this one I used carbon paper, as I showed you, and again I do believe pardon me, I do believe I told you, but I used a projector to project this picture onto the wall, and then I set this up and traced it because this was really large. I couldn't get something this large to trace, so I just projected it onto the wall, which caused it to enlarge itself, and I fit it to the size of that wood. So this top part, as far as the wood burning is complete, I am going to cut the wood for the stop for the book to be sitting on it here. Like I said, I'd probably go down just like that so that you can actually, when the book isn't sitting there, you can actually see the whole piece here. So we'll get back with you when I start doing another piece of this project. So we are back in the sanctuary. It's a different day, and I want to show you where we're at right now and talk a little bit about that and continue this wood burning. So let me angle the camera down so you can see the project, and let's just continue with it. Alright, so just a quick look. Here is the stick in which I am going to cut, and I've already got the measurements. I just laid this, there we go, okay. I just laid this on the piece of wood, and then once I laid it down on the piece of wood, I went underneath and just made a mark. So that tells me where I need to cut this at. So I'm going to eventually do that. Hopefully I get that done today, but that's not important right now. This is the very top of the book stand. Now, let me real quick go through here. This is the nib, or whatever you want to call it, that I used when I made this right here, when I wood burnt this. Okay, Now, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I wish I had changed it earlier, but now I've got it into this little knob here. It's just a little dinky. There you go. So that's what I'm using now. So let me go ahead and continue on. So here is the very top. This is the Egyptian symbol for Heka or magic. So this is what's going to be on top. I need to stain this. That's the next process, is just getting this stained. Hopefully I can get, I'm going to try to get some more of this carbon paper. There's little pieces of marking here that I wouldn't mind getting off before I did that. And then here is the base. This is Hecate's maze, and I am working on this now. I started this last night. This is probably not quite an hour's work, but at least a half hour to 45 minutes or so work right here. And that's when I changed this tip, and this seems to do really, really well with this. I prefer this to the other one. So I'm going to continue working on this. I'm going to plug in the wood burner, let it get hot, and I'm going to start continuing with this this maze picture here, and try to get the base done in the next couple days. I thought it was going to take weeks, but it's really only going to take days. So hopefully this will be done, if not tonight, maybe in the next couple days. Alright, so I'm getting close. I still have probably another half hour or so to go with this in particular, or more. I still have 3 lines out here to do, right out in here for the huge circle, but I have very little to do with the inside part of it. So hopefully I can get that finished up in the next half hour or so, and then we can continue on with the rest of the project. Alrighty, so I do have the inside complete now. See if I can stand up. There we go. There you go. That's pretty decent. There's 3 more lines that encircle all that, as you can see right there. And I will get that done later, but I'm going to stop at this point. I don't need to have it done immediately, so I don't want to push myself to complete something and mess it up because I get tired. So there is a continuation on what is eventually going to be the book stand or a podium. Alright, so that did not take as long as I thought it would take. I have spent a few days, but it's definitely not been weeks. So here is the top where the book is actually going to rest. Here is the Egyptian symbol for Heka or magic, which I really enjoy. It is going to be the very top. It'll angle like kind of like this. The book will sit here. Now, I did cut this. This is what's going to sit down here to hold the book from sliding off, just like so. And we will attach that here soon. As a matter of fact, that's what this portion of the video is going to be us attaching this piece to the top round. The bottom round, the base, there's Hekate's maze, is a little bit off. You see there's a little bit more space than there is up in here, but that's just how it is. This was all drawn by hand. I did project it onto the wall, but then I had to set this up and trace it and everything like that. So not perfect circles, but it doesn't have to be. I think that's pretty freaking awesome. This took me 3 sessions, and this is probably about an hour and a half. I wouldn't say 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, pretty close to 2 hours, but not quite, to do this part. And that's where we are now. So let's get this setting down, and we will set the small round. Now, as you can see right here, here is the 4x4, and there's the angle that I cut it at. And as a matter of fact, you can probably see from here. See, that's going to rest on there just like that. And then when I get that attached, then that'll be that. But we have to design something for these 4 sides. I do plan on placing a symbol for each element as far as the triangles are concerned on there, maybe up towards the top part. There was going to be, maybe still is going to be, I'm not 100% sure, a symbol for Sobek. There would be one for Thoth. There would be one for Hekate, and probably for Heka. On each of the 4 sides, one of the 4 sides. Maybe tonight I'll get around to working on that. I'll probably have to project the image onto it instead of tracing it with the carbon paper. But we'll see. I'm not sure. The triangles might be fine. I might be able to get the triangles on there with the carbon paper, but I want them to be a little larger than what they really are. So I probably will have to project those. I think, let me look. Here's the picture of Heka that I did. There's Thoth. So I will have to definitely project him because I want him to be much taller and bigger. So this is the Thoth that is going on to one side. Here's Sobek will be going on one side. Let's see here. Okay, here are the 4 elements. I don't know. Yeah, I want them to be bigger than that. I want them to be bigger than that, so I'm going to have to project these as well. It looks like, okay, here's Heka. So that's on one side. This is also for Heka. One of these 2 will go up there. I don't know whether it'll just be this or whether or not. I think I want this because the others have a human-like pictorial for what it represents. Plus, this one here is already on the top. I don't know if I want that on the... And I don't have something for Hekate because, like I said, I've already got... Well, actually, I do. I take that back. Hold on. Okay, so something maybe with the key and the moons and the torch. Maybe the key and the torch. I don't know if maybe that'll... Yeah, the moons will be difficult to get on there. But as you can see, the key, that'll work nicely. So I should be able to actually hand use the carbon paper with this one, because this one is just the right size, although the moons won't be on there, but the key and the torches will be on there. And let's see here. So this is Heka, Hecate, Sobek, and Thoth. So there are the 4 sides, and then each one gets an element. That's good. Now also, I want to do possibly an Ankh, but when I printed out the Ankh, look at that. Can you see that little dot? That's the Ankh. There, yeah. When I printed that out, it came out like super freaking tiny. Look at that. That's like a dot. I might be able to project that large enough to fit on there. And what I think I might do, and I'll use the one side to fit all 4 sides. So say this is the top. I'll put the element here. Then I'll put an Ankh in the middle, and then down below I'll put the pictorial picture of what I'm representing, being Hecate or Sobek or Thoth or Heka. So I think that will hopefully happen tonight. But regardless, right now, let's readjust the camera and let's glue this bad boy on there. Alright, so it's sitting there. I was going to use E6000, but somebody in the house, I won't mention any names, Richard, kind of misplaced it. So I do have this fix-all adhesive super glue, which will absolutely work as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a dab of it in the center. Now what might happen later after this glue dries is I might get some like little finishing tacky nails and put on tack a few nails into it just so that it absolutely stays. And there we go. I have, hold on one second. Here we go. So I have a level. And there, look at that. That's level. That's level right there. Woo! Now let's not jack it up by putting too much pressure on it. Now we got to fix it. Just like that. Bingo, bingo. Alright, now we're going to let that dry, and then I may put 3 tack nails in there just to make sure that it stays where it is. We're going to let that dry and I'll get back with you. So there we go with the glue. So while that is drying, something I have not done yet is talked about the price of this thing. Now, I am going to tell you right off the bat that this thing was way more expensive than I could afford. All of the materials that I use, all this wood, was donated to me. It was purchased by somebody else, and thank you very much for that. But I will briefly kind of give you an overview of the cost of this entire thing. Alright, so let's begin with these little brackets. Now these little brackets are what's going to be sitting down onto the base, and it will screw into the base, and then it will screw onto the 4x4 to create the standing pole part. Each one of these was like $3, and I had to get 4 of those, one for each side. So let's see. Yeah, they were like $12 for these. Now, I also got these screws, and again, let's look at these. These are what's going to go through here to screw down onto, well, definitely going to go in here to what screws into the 4x4, right? I'm not sure whether these will be decent enough to go to the bottom because they are kind of large, so they will go out the bottom. So I'd have to do that and then cut the bottom part off because it's way too large. But this is good. This part's going to be hidden, so I could actually use a screw or a nail that's considerably not so long in there. But I definitely want them for this because I like how the black and the gold look together. Plus, that's my family colors. So this is what you're going to see on either side, or all four sides of the post on the bottom. It'll look like that. And again, I got 4 packs of these. There was 2 nails or screws, 2 screws per pack, and these things were like $3 a piece too. So this was like 12 bucks. So just these 2 things here was like $24. Now, the post, this 4x4 by, I think it was like 6 feet tall originally. It was $10. So there's 34. Maybe I should keep track because I'm not going to be able to keep track. So so that's 34 bucks. And that doesn't include taxes, by the way. And then this round here, the small round, I think this was like $8. I think it was around $8. We're gonna say 10 just to be on the safe side. Just because I think this was pretty close to $10. So that's like $44. And then this huge round, which is the base, was about $15. So this whole project is around like 60 bucks. Okay, it's going to cost. It cost about $60 to buy the material for this one stand. Now that doesn't include my time and everything to put this all together and to wood burn and all that. So if it was going to be like a product that you purchased just for the wood burning and all that, you would probably have to double it to make your money back. So anyway, just the stand alone, just the materials is $60. So something as simple as this, and I say simple, but I've spent many days working on it. And anyway, this could be easily a $120 or more stand if it were to be like purchased. Anyway, there we go. $60 for the material. Wood burn what you want on the top and the bottom. I happen to pick Heka for the top and Hecate for the bottom. And then I'm gonna, tonight when it gets a little darker in here, I'm gonna set my projector up and I am going to attempt to position the rest of the pictures that I want onto the base here, to the stand part here, and hopefully get those done. I am going to guess, as example, this may not be horribly difficult, but trying to, well, here we'll use Sobek since that's the picture. Trying to wood burn that into that post may be time consuming and difficult. So we will see. The good thing is it'll be a little bit bigger than that, and as long as it's bigger, it's easier to wood burn. But I guess we'll have to see that when we get to it. So the next section, and again, this just is running all together. Once I get it all done, I'm going to edit it all together. But the next section will be me hopefully tonight tracing the pictures that I want on the post. So whenever that gets started, I'll get right back with you. Alrighty, so you can hear the dogs. I am at my mother's house, and I have this Thompson water seal that I am going to coat these rounds with. I don't have the actual pole part done yet. I don't have the all the symbols I want on it, and I don't have it wood burned. So I figured I would just go ahead and get these sealed as right now, because they are done, and I'll get that out of the way. So let's get that going. All right, so here's the top. I've got it. I've got the this stopper here glued on. Here's the base. Let's go ahead and get this water sealant poured out. Bingo bango. The good thing is that even though I'm a little sloppy with it, she wants part of her deck fixed because she just says it's not complete. So we're going to go ahead and water seal this. Make sure we do really good by this. And when I get this done, I'll get back with you. Alrighty, so this one is done. I'll set it over here and it'll dry. And now I'm going to bring the top out, and we will again go ahead and take care of this. Uh-oh, I'm getting a phone call. Alrighty, so I've got this one sealed up as well. So then now they got to do is just dry. Okay, well last night I was able to draw in the pictures that are going to be on this post. I don't know again if you can see them because usually I can't see them in the viewfinder, but you might be able to see them anyway. Each side has a triangle symbol for the element, and then down here, here's Thoth, Heka, Sobek, and Hecate on each one of those. So I've got that done, so I need to wood burn that in there, which is good. Now, up here in the top, this is going to be covered up, but I want to put an infinity sign on that as well before I and wood burn that in there. So that is complete. All I got to do now is wood burn that in there. For the last few hours, I have been working on these little rounds that I use for my dark moon and full moon rituals. Dark moon gets Hecate, and the full moon, and I have not wood burned that in yet, but the full moon gets Thoth. So I'm going to wood burn that in there. And see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 more of them. One side has an ibis for Thoth, and the other side has Hecate's wheel. So I'm going to wood burn all those. And here is one that just has Hecate's wheel that I have used, or that I have made. And I cut this myself from a cherry tree. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 more of them over there that I have not wood burned or drawn on yet. But each one of them is going to get a Hecate on one side and an ibis for Thoth on the other. So we're going to do that. I have the beginnings of a Depnon spot here in the sanctuary. So let me show you that real quick. So here are dandelions, which are for Hecate, and there are 13 dandelions. And then I use a black cord and I put 13 wraps and then tie it with 3 knots. So there's 13 dandelions, 13 wraps, and 3 knots. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 of those set up. And then of course my eggshells, which is where I put my honey. And sometimes I put dandelion in there when I take it out and do it outside. And then of course here's my cherry wood, a fruit tree wood. And this just right now just has Hecate on it, so this is just for the dark moon. And I found this piece of this really cool. I think it's supposed to be a cutting board, to be totally honest. Actually, I think I like this side better. I think it's a cutting board, but I found this at a rummage sale for $1. So I went ahead and purchased that. And this is going to set for a quote-unquote table. And then I will have, so there's the ibis on the back of that one. Let's see, this one here. Yeah, this one's the one that doesn't have it. So this one is going to sit here. And then I am going to use wax. And I think I will set up 4 eggshells around this. When I do it outside, I put some wax in the center. And I go ahead and seal the egg in the center, and then I put a candle and I seal it on the back so it sits up like this, like that. And that's what I use at my crossroads. If I do it at the crossroads of earth and water, this floats, because usually what I try to do is soak this in candle wax or put enough of wax on it, because the cherry wood seems to crack, and you can see it's got cracks and stuff in it. And last couple I've kind of put wax on them so that these get sealed up, but it doesn't really seem to matter. Anyway, this will get some wax here and some wax here, and then that sets up as a floating offering. But here it's going to stay in the house, so I think I'm going to leave that like that, or maybe one of these sit like this. So when it's Depnon or the dark moon, I'll have Hecate on top, and when it's the full moon, I'll turn it over and I'll have Thoth. So let's see, the full moon is the next one. So I'll just go ahead and I think I'll put some wax down, and I'll put at each corner, the 4 corners here, I think I'll put an egg shell, and then I'll have at least 1 candle, which I'll sit up here. I'll probably do the elements so that the south will have the candle in the egg. That way I don't mess up this board by melting all kinds of stuff on it. But that's kind of how that's working. So I'll start dealing with that. I might do a video just all by itself for this. But I definitely need to get to wood burning these. I don't have any of the ibis, and I need to do that because the full moon is going to be in 3 days, so I need at least one of these ready in 3 days. So we'll see how that works. I'm going to try to get an ibis on this one, and I might just go ahead and use this one on the 17th. So anyway, I'm going to do a bunch of wood burning for the rounds, and maybe I'll get to this post. Who knows? I do need to, for me, I need to get up super freaking early tomorrow. I have to be at the prison at 7:30, which means I have to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I have to be at the prison at 7:30. My first class will be, I think, at like 8 o'clock, and it will be from 8 till 9:30. I don't know if I can go that long. I'm not sure. It depends on the participation that we have with everybody. It'll be my first time doing a class there at the prison. It is officially considered Wiccan because that's the recognized pagan belief system that the prison recognizes. Although I always say all Wiccans are witches, but not all witches are Wiccans. So I like to consider myself a wild witch, or maybe even an eclectic witch, but names are just names and they don't necessarily mean anything. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know, maybe I'll do a video about how that goes, but right now let's focus on getting all this wood burning done. Alright, so we got a little bit more done on the actual stand. I know that this video is going to be long. I've already got 2 sections of it done. It probably is about an hour long right now, or at least 50 minutes, somewhere between 50 and 60 minutes right now, and that's before I get the post all done. It's before this video, and I'm sure I've got one other one. I probably won't show you anything else other than this video that I'm doing, which I'm showing you the progress on the post, and then the actual putting it together. So, but who knows? I tend to like to video everything. Right now, I have most of it done. Here's the elemental triangles here. Alright, now as well, I have the Heka side done. I do not have either the Sobek or the Thoth side done, but here is the Hecate side. And as well, I am considering doing a little bit more with this down here. Maybe the key, I'll finish the key off, and maybe even the torches. I'm not 100% sure, but I still have Sobek and Thoth to do. Those are going to be the 2 big ones that are going to take maybe a little bit of time. I probably spent, I don't know, maybe a half hour on the triangles and the Hecate and the Heka sides. So who knows what is going to happen. But what's going to happen, hopefully, plans. So I am reducing the chaos of the unknown, and I am planning a little bit. So I plan on getting the rest of this wood burned. I plan on putting the waterproofing on it, and I'm not going to video that because this video, like I said, is way too long because I ramble like I'm doing. And once I get it completely done, as far as the individual pieces, then I might do a small video, which is, for me, small, could be 30-40 minutes, of putting it completely together. So we will see how it goes, and I will get back with you shortly. Alrighty, well, I know I said that I was not going to video anything until I was ready to put this thing together, but I am super close. But I did want to show you how it turned out so far, and something that isn't going to be visual once I get it all put together. So anyway, you guys have seen the triangles are on there. Now, I've finally got the bottom part done, and you guys have seen this one. Let me angle this so that we can, there we go. So this right here is for Heka, the Egyptian symbol of magic. And then I finally got Thoth done. I think that turned out really freaking good. Thoth is here, and then Hecate is here. So what I did was, not only with the circle, I ended up making a key out of it, and then putting the torches on the side. And then lastly, Sobek. And again, I think Sobek turned out really freaking good too. So there is that. Now, on the very top, and I'm going to readjust the camera so, well, I don't know, maybe you can see from here. Now, so on the very top here, there's an infinity symbol that I'm going to wood burn into the top of this. And this will be covered up, but Michelle wanted the infinity sign for us because our tattoos here, it has the infinity, and she wanted it this direction, more like an 8 than going this way, more like the infinity going this direction. She wanted it going this way. So I got that there. I'm going to wood burn that onto the top here, and when I get that done, I'll be ready to actually waterproof this, get the waterproof sealant on there, and then we'll be pretty close to being able to put it together. Alright, so I'm back at my mom's. I am going to now waterproof this one right here, and probably go over the round ones one more time just for GP. And this time I have a paintbrush, so that might work a little bit better. So let's get that going. Alright, so it's a little noisy over here, but that's okay. We'll do it anyway. We're gonna put one more coat onto the rounds. Alright, so we've got that done. So now it's time. We're going to start working on the stand, the pole part. Let's get that taken care of. Okay, so it's Thursday night, 7:30. I just got back from my nightly ritual walk, and I'm gonna start working, well, on putting this book podium together. And what I did was I went ahead and set the post on this, and I was able to glue these down enough to where they would stay where they need to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw those in, but the problem is that the screws that I have that I want to use are too long. So I'm going to have to cut these screws down. Now, I don't have a hacksaw or any kind of saw like that that'll do it. What I do have, though, is a grinder. So I'm thinking I'm just going to hang on to these bad boys with a pair of pliers, and I'm just going to grind about half of it off. And I'm going to have to do 4 of those, and then I'm going to drill a hole with my drill, and to make a pilot hole, and then I'll just drill those in. So when I get that all done, I'll get back with you. Alright, so I got one of them cut, but before I do them all that way, I'm going to make sure this will actually work. So I'm going to go ahead and drill the pilot hole. I don't know why I keep trying to say pallet. The pilot hole in there, and make sure I can get this in there. Make sure I didn't jack the bottom part of it up so badly it won't work, but we'll see what we got. So if this works, we're good to go. Alright, so with the right amount of encouragements, it did get in there. So we're going to say that that's good, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the others and go ahead and get those screwed in. Alrighty, so those 4 are in. Not too difficult. When I cut them, I did have to angle the bottoms a little bit so they would grip into the wood. The flat ends weren't just digging in good enough, so I had to grind them on the end a little bit to get them to go, but there they are. Now let's look at it with the piece of wood in there. Alright, so now that's on, and tomorrow I'll go ahead and drill holes here and screw those in on all 4 sides. There, here, right there, and right there. I'm not going to do that tonight. It's getting late, and I still have several things I have to do tonight, and I'm getting up a little bit early tomorrow, and I'm running my mom to another town garage sale. So this is going to wait until tomorrow. Oh, look, the kitty is back. Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. You want some food? I'm going to see if he wants some food. There you go. Come here. Come here. Nah, don't run off. Come here. Hey. Oh. Where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, it took off. No, I don't see it. That's the little cat that comes by the house every once in a while. Anyway, let me get this put up and get relaxing and get the rest of the stuff I need to get done tonight. Alrighty, so I've got the bottom on there. I've got the top. There's the infinity. I drilled a hole down the middle of each one of the center points here. I put 2 pegs down in there, and now all I got to do is put on the top. And the top I drilled in the back. I drilled a couple holes there to fit that. So let's adjust that on there. I'm so excited that it's so close to being done. So here's the top, and the back I drilled a couple holes that will meet up with this. Boom, just like that. Bingo bango. And there's the whole stand. Now all I gotta do is glue that top on, which is gonna be done here in a minute. Fantastic. And then I will take final pictures and do a final wrap up, and finally get this book stand finished. Alright, so there is a combination of epoxy glue, E6000, and wood glue. And I got it all nicely combined here. As well as being on there, I have glue, just wood glue here, and I'm just going to put it together and let it sit and dry. So let's get this going here. That right there is good to go. Alright, it's gonna sit here and dry. And I think we're good to go.